what's up, and welcome back to another video on Maanav Sports Talk. So we're going to be doing the Week 2 predictions for the NFL season. Week 1 just finished, obviously, last week, So the first week is in the books, and, it was pretty entertaining as of Week 1, but obviously we had lots of penalties and minor issues of that. Because it's Week 1, no preseason, no OTAs, none of that stuff, where usually all that gets fixed up, but this year it's been different, obviously, with the pandemic. Now, this week we had some great finishes, some good games, explosive plays, and we saw some great defenses this week. The Steelers, who were playing really well against the Giants, as well as the Los Angeles Rams, a defense who was a little bit under the radar, but they came to play against the Dallas Cowboys. We also saw some really good rookies, like obviously rookie running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire of the Kansas City Chiefs, rushing for 130 yards and a touchdown against the Houston Texans on opening night, which is really impressive, as Clyde Edwards-Helaire was one of the best running backs in the draft. We also saw Jerry Jeudy last night for Denver, CeeDee Lamb, lots of great guys, and Chase Young, obviously, and Joe Burrow, who actually put up a great performance versus Cincinnati. Not a great performance, but for a first game in the NFL, I thought it was pretty good. He had a 23-yard rushing touchdown as well. And unfortunately, his team is not as good as you would want, so his team didn't really help him that much. But we also saw Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson light it up, passing for like 400 yards, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. So anyway, another big thing this week was how, everything's going to be going on during the national anthem, where players are going to be kneeling, where some players are just going to be standing. A lot of owners have made it very clear that they want players to stand, but some players feel like, they really need to take a knee and, demonstrate their unity in support of the Black Lives Matter. So, anyway, let's just move on to the Week 2 predictions. We got some great games this week as well. We're going to be starting off with the LA Rams taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. This will be at 12 o'clock Central Time on Fox at Philadelphia. Obviously, home crowd doesn't really matter. Hardly anybody is watching, if not no one. So the crowd really doesn't matter. Now we saw the Rams on Sunday Night Football on national TV come out and make a statement at their new home at SoFi Stadium with a win over the Dallas Cowboys. And offensively, it looked like the Rams of old. The Rams had come back from their slump last year, and they showed a highly efficient offense this year. Not this year, just the first game, but they showed a highly efficient offense that'd be expected from Sean McVay, with the outside zone runs and then the play action off of it, which looks very similar. You can't, decide whether it's going to be a run or it's going to be a pass, and then that leaves the flats wide open. So, that the running game was really good. Surprisingly, without Todd Gurley, the running game still looked good with Malcolm Brown, who rushed for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. Offensive line was very good as well, and the receivers were getting open. Defensively, we saw Aaron Donald wreak havoc everywhere, and the secondary also played pretty well. I expect the defense of LA to make another statement here against the NFC East, against the Eagles' offense, which did not look too good besides that 17-0 lead. And then they ended up losing 27-17 against the Washington football team. Imagine losing to a team named the football team. That must be horrible. That was very embarrassing and disappointing for the Eagles to lose like a team like the Washington football team. I would not want to lose to a team named the Washington football team. That is horrible. Now, offensively, Carson Wentz was sacked, threw 2 interceptions, and they could have played much more even with all the injuries. It's still the Washington football team. We should have beat them. There was no excuse. Dallas Goedert was really good though, and besides him, not really much there. Defensively, they gave up 27 points to Washington, which was not too hot. Aaron Donald should have a great game, again, to stop the run and harass Wentz, and the secondary should focus on the tight ends, and you should get the Eagles' offense to a stop. Here are the prediction for Rams versus Eagles. We got the Eagles scoring 14 points only, and the Rams scoring a touchdown ahead, 21, to win the game and become 2-0. Next game we have up is at Sunday at 12 o'clock on Fox at Dallas. We have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Atlanta Falcons at Jerry World, AT&T Stadium. We saw the Cowboys disappoint on Sunday Night Football against the Rams, only scoring 3 points in the second half to lose 20-17. It really wasn't the best game for Dallas, as they were pretty inconsistent. But we did see Ezekiel Elliott looked like that Ezekiel Elliott we're also afraid of, and Zeke was, arguably one of the best, probably the best back in the league, arguably. Playing really well. You saw the power of Zeke, you saw his elusiveness, catching ability, and his goal line ability as well, scoring 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 passing, 2 good performance of 100 yards pretty much, and 30 yards receiving. Now this year we know the Cowboys O-line is not as good as it's been. No Travis Frederick. We also saw no Leo Collins, he's out for 3 weeks. And we saw Aaron Donald and Ramsey pretty much wreak havoc. Many people are talking about the 4th down decision by Mike McCarthy. It was debated. He said he wanted to trust his offense because, I thought they didn't really reach the red zone that often, pretty inconsistent as well. And I guess they thought we better cash in here. But I still would have kicked the field goal just to tie the game up. Officiating wasn't good in this game. We saw the late OPI on Michael Gallup, offensive pass interference, and then a face mask call on the Goff interception. In this game, though, I expect the Cowboys offense to play well. Should be a redemption game for the offense. They should rebound against Atlanta defense that, really did not play well against Russell Wilson. They got smoked for 38 points, 4 touchdowns, 300 yards passing. Zeke, he should eat well, and Dak, he's going to have a much better game this time. With his receivers, we saw DK Metcalf light up. You may see something from the likes of Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, or Michael Gallup. Defensively, the Cowboys did okay, but had some penalties, which was expected, but they gave up way too many 3rd down conversions. Now they have too many injuries. They're going to play without Van Der Esch, already down Sean Lee, so the linebacking core is looking pretty weak as of right now, but you do have the stud Jalen Smith right there. You also saw tight end Blake Jarwin. I thought might have a breakout season. Unfortunately, has a torn ACL, which is really sad for the Dallas Cowboys. Atlanta, they played pretty well offensively, though they scored a lot more in the, in the trash time, time where nobody really cares. The defense isn't really trying that hard. So they did make it close, but it really wasn't that close. And I expect the Dallas pass rush made a good, had a good game against Jared Goff. They should get Matt Ryan as well. The Dallas Cowboys versus Falcons. The Cowboys putting up 31 points, 30-plus point game, and the Falcons scoring 27. Cowboys move back to 500. Next game, we have a really fun one in Houston. A 3:25 on CBS at Houston, the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Houston Texans at home. This is going to be really fun in H-Town. Got the MVP Lamar Jackson, who had a great game against the Cleveland Browns. Takes on Deshaun Watson, the one and only, and what is going to be one of the best young QB matchups we see, maybe for the next, 10 years, who knows. The both quarterbacks, they're so good, such great playmakers. They make it highly entertaining. They make plays outside the pocket and scramble. I expect this game to be high scoring. We saw the Ravens destroy the Browns, predictably in a 38-6 blowout. Great game by Lamar and his favorite tight end, Mark Andrews. On the other hand, the Texans had a pretty bad loss, 34-20 against the Chiefs. Do you really expect them to beat the Chiefs? I didn't, but it was Deshaun Watson. He didn't really have that great of a game. The Texans' offense didn't look too good, and the defense couldn't stop the running game. I expect Deshaun Watson to come back and have a much better game, because that's who he is. After a bad game, he comes back and delivers. And he should have a good game. But the running of Lamar Jackson, we saw J.K. Dobbins emerge. And we also saw Mark Ingram. Just might be too much for the Texans. Calais Campbell, new addition for the Ravens pass rush. Might get to Watson as he tends to hold on to the ball at key times. But Deshaun being Deshaun, he'll make some plays. And Lamar, way too elusive for the Texans. They struggle with tackling. It's going to be a fun game to watch. And let's take a look at that highlight from last week. Mark Andrews made a stunning catch. And let's take a look at the prediction as well. 2nd and goal now. Fake to Ingram. Lamar looking. Mark Andrews! Spectacular grab. One-handed in the end zone. Amazing Mark Andrews. 5-yard touchdown. Ravens score. Here we are. I got the Texans, Ravens. The Ravens scoring 35 points. Got the Texans scoring 32, and what is going to be a high-scoring showdown between the two great young quarterbacks. Should be a lot of fun. We have Sunday Night Football on NBC at 7:20. The Seahawks taking on the Patriots in a rematch of Super Bowl 49, which you remember Malcolm Butler intercepted Russell Wilson at the goal line. We all remember that very well. That ended a Seattle could be possibly dynasty. I'm sure it still hurts for Seattle fans. And yeah, I had to bring that up. I'm sorry. Seattle, they destroyed Atlanta's defense. Russell Wilson cooked. 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and the defense also was pretty good. Jamal Adams making plays all over the place. Patriots beat the Dolphins. That was predictable. But Cam Newton, he looked great. To be honest, he looked great. He was running the football 75 yards, 2 touchdowns, and was solid through the air. We expected them to come out and run, I'd say, because Cam really hasn't passed in the league for a good year or so. And Josh McDaniels, really great scheme he set up there for Cam, and it's a great Patriots offense that he set up. Now, the Patriots are going to have a much harder task taking on Russell Wilson, obviously. Although the Pats' defense is pretty good, they face the Dolphins with Fitzpatrick. This is Russell Wilson, so it's completely different. Seattle, they have some great linebackers, obviously Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, and the great safeties they have Quandre Diggs and also Jamal Adams, of course. I think they should be able to make some plays to hold Cam while rushing the ball. They're gonna bring out some new wrinkles. The Patriots, we expect that. But I do think the Seattle defense will be prepared for it. We have Pete Carroll, should be able to come out and, at least slow down Cam Newton while rushing the ball. And we saw Josh McDaniels bring out some new offense. Defensive coordinators are still trying to figure out how to stop it, but I think Pete Carroll might have something up his sleeve as well. And I think the defense for Seattle puts up a good showing, and Russell Wilson has some timely drives, to score. He may not score all the time, but has some timely drives, throughout the game to help them score. And here's the prediction. Lastly, we have the Seahawks versus Patriots in a rematch of Super Bowl 49. Seahawks won 26, Patriots only 18 as the Seahawks moved to 2-0. Football at Las Vegas for the first time. The Las Vegas Raiders. They're going to be playing at home at Allegiant Stadium. It's going to be amazing. Taking on the New Orleans Saints. This stadium, is really epic. I do think SoFi is much better, but it's still a really good stadium. And the Raiders, of course, want to open up with a win, but we have Drew Brees coming to town. The Saints offensively did not look too hot, but Alvin Kamara definitely did. 3rd and 10. Let's see if they can convert here. Got a screen to Kamara. Gets it. Blocks. Up ahead. Kamara scores. Alvin Kamara scores his first touchdown of 2020 on the screen. Here's Brady on 2nd and 15. Throws it to the side. Intercepted. Jenkins. 2 deep. House. Saints increase their lead. Norris Jenkins picks the route off. Brady's 2nd interception. Some occasional commentary. I just want to put that in there. Some nice plays here and there. We saw Alvin Kamara. Defensively, the Saints look pretty nice, and that pretty much allowed them to beat the Bucks. Tampa Bay. Intercepting Brady twice, including one back to the house. Pick 6 for Jackrabbit Jenkins. Janoris Jenkins taking it to the house. We also saw Josh Jacobs, a really good running back for the, I was about to say Oakland Raiders, it's Las Vegas Raiders. He's a great franchise running back. He scored 3 touchdowns, almost 100 yards. I think he's going to have a great game. We saw Ronald Jones, have a pretty good game against the Saints. Josh should have an even better game. The Saints offense, so I expect them to have a bounce back game. With Drew Brees under center, the offense should play much better. I think they explode in this game. And that obviously is no match for Derek Carr, as he might have to abandon the running game and pass for Carr. Obviously cannot beat Brees. Should be a good game in the first half, then the Saints will pull away. Now, those are the main predictions. I'll show you the predictions for the other games. You can go ahead and pause the video if you want to take a look at those. And that pretty much ends the video. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you made it this far, please hit the like button to support my channel. And also subscribe. I'll be doing weekly NFL predictions. I'll be doing power rankings later on in the season because right now we really don't have a feel for the teams enough for me to figure out who's at the top, who's at the bottom. Figure that out later. Got the NBA playoffs going on, conference finals. Coming out with a video with that later on. Anyway, thanks for watching this video and I will see you in the next video.